Hey, my name is John Workman, founder of electricianslibrary.com and stuffelectriciansshould-know.com. And I'm here today because I wanted to share with you a special presentation or training or whatever you want to call it. And the title of this training is called 3 Secrets They Don't Tell You About Being an Electrician. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty pumped to be able to share this with you because I'm going to be sharing some stuff with you that I've never really shared before. There might have been a couple of things I've maybe touched on the Stuff Electricians Should Know podcast, but you know, there are some things that happen behind the scenes to becoming a successful electrician in the trade that aren't talked about very much, and I want to share those things with you because I think they're going to bring a lot of value and a lot of benefit to you and your future in the electrical trade. So I kind of want to bribe you to stay until the end of the training. You know, if you stay until the end, of the training, then I'm going to show you a way that you can get a special bonus with over 15 hours of training in the form of what was once known as the Weekly Buzz podcast. And you're going to be able to get this for free, along with the training that I'm going to throw in an Electricians Library T-shirt, as well as access to the Electricians Library Conduit Bending 101 digital course. So that's the bribe that I'm gonna give to you if you stay till the end of this training and become a member of the Stuff Electricians Should Know University. So before we get into that though, I want to walk you through exactly what I'm going to be covering in this training today, and show you why this is going to be, you know, why this is going to be exciting for you, why this is going to be useful, why it's going to be beneficial. Because a lot of times you get training and you walk away thinking, I don't even know how I'm going to use that. So I don't know about you, but when I got started with my electrical apprenticeship, I was totally lost. I'd never been involved in the electrical trade before. I had absolutely no idea, no knowledge about anything electrical related. It always fascinated me. I always enjoyed learning about it, but I really didn't know much. And so the only path to learn at the time, and it probably still is the only way, and is required by state law, was to enter an apprenticeship program. Now, for me, that apprenticeship program was and still is run by the local trade school in my town, and quite frankly, it sucked. I mean, there's just no sugarcoating. It sucked. It was painful. It was a complete waste of time. And the only reason that half of us were there was because we had to be. That's the only way that we were going to be able to get licensed if we wanted to continue on in the trade. Now, there was little to no teaching done in the classroom that I was in. You know, the warm body, you know, definitely not a teacher, would talk to us for, I don't know, maybe the first 5 or 10 minutes of the 2-hour class, and then say something to the effect of, okay, go ahead and turn to the chapter in the book that you're in and go ahead and do the homework. Okay, whatever. You know, this is what our classes were made up of. You know, as a second year apprentice, we had to teach a lot of the first years and even some of the third years what they were even doing. We even had to correct some of the things that the warm body supposed teacher was teaching. You know, it was pathetic. You know, I would venture to say that there's some of you out there that have experienced the same thing, and I'm sure I feel sorry for you, you know. And so I hate to admit this, but this was one of the very things that actually made me drop out of my apprenticeship, along with several others that were in the class, because, you know, there were many in the trade that were just as unwilling to give on-the-job training as the teacher was to actually teach. And so I can't put all the blame on them. You know, it's not completely their fault. I chose to drop out of the program. They didn't force me, but I was so frustrated that I wasn't learning anything, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. But I couldn't stay away from the trade. I found myself 8 and a half years ago, getting back into the electrical world on the distributor side, and once again I found something I mean, super disturbing, extremely disturbing. There were journeymen and even masters that would come in to get parts, and they were asking some of the simplest questions about what they needed and how it should be installed and what the codes were that dealt with some of this stuff. And I was blown away. I was shocked. I really couldn't believe it. And I knew that something had to be done. The education among the trade, it needs to be fixed, at least in a lot of areas it does. And I've actually polled thousands of electricians over the last 3 years since I started Electricians Library, and over 60% of those that responded said that the education needed to be fixed. That there was a problem, and it's got to be better. It's got to be fixed. So that is exactly why I started electricianslibrary.com, and then subsequently the Stuff Electricians Should Know podcast. You know, I knew that there were others out there that was just as frustrated as I was, and I knew that it could be changed, and this has been proven. You know, I started Electricians Library 3 years ago, and the site is visited by thousands in the trade each and every month. The Stuff Electricians Should Know podcast is being downloaded on average over 10,000 times per month as of the recording of this training, and the community is growing like wildfire. Like it's exploding. The demand for quality education for electricians is high, but in many areas it's just not there. You just don't have access to it. So after spending 2 years as an apprentice, another 5 years as a general contractor, and then the last 8.5 years working very closely with manufacturers and installers alike, I knew that a change not only needed to happen, but that it could happen. And like I say, this has been proven with all the feedback that I've been getting over the last 3 years. So what I'm going to do, what I'm going to show you now are some of the things that I've learned over the last 15 years that being in the trades has created some of the most successful electricians and some of the biggest failures of the trade as well. Because you don't always need to learn from the successes. You know, learning from what has caused others to fail is, in my opinion, just as valuable, if not more valuable, than learning what has made others successful. So that's what I'm gonna show you today. And it's funny because as I've talked with other electricians that are having success and those that are struggling, it's very apparent what they are doing right and what they're doing wrong. And you know, if they would just make some tiny little tweaks or adjustments, their whole careers could change for the better. Some of them are willing to do it, some of them are not willing to do it, and obviously it's their choice. So that's what this training is about. What are some of the most important things that you can do to make yourself the most valuable and most needed electrician in the trade? And as I mentioned before on the Stuff Electricians Should Know podcast, your goal shouldn't be to just be known as an electrician. It should be to have the reputation as the electrician. I'll cover that a little bit more, but being the electrician that everyone can count on to do the job right. You know, the electrician that gets called back for every single job. The electrician that, you know, even though your prices might be a little bit higher, you still get the job because the customer knows that they are getting more value than what you are charging. You know, the electrician that brings honor and respect to the trade. This is who you should seek to be, the kind of electrician that you need to be and that the world needs. So you know as well as I do that there are a lot of hacks out there. And you know that there are a lot of masters out there. And I don't just mean master by license, but true masters of the trade. And it's your choice to decide which one that you want to be. And it's your choice to become that true master of the trade. And quite frankly, I want to help you get there. So in this training, I'm going to share 3 core concepts or 3 core secrets with you that you probably haven't heard anywhere else. Now, secret number 1 is that those who know how will always work for those who know why. Okay? Secret number 2 is actually a combo of 3 other smaller secrets. And that are 3 things that you need to know about employers, employees, and customers. Running out of space, but I know that's a lot of cool information that's going to come about in that one. I know you want to hear that. It's awesome. It's going to be a game changer for you. And then secret number 3 is basically that continuing education is not exactly what you think that continuing education is. So those are 3 secrets that I'm going to share with you right now. What I'm going to do is just I'm going to take a minute to get this all cleaned up and shined up so that we can have a clean slate to work off of. But I'm super excited about this. I'm super excited to share these things with you. I'm going to be moving around a little bit. It just helps my brain get going a little more, gets the ideas flowing a little more quickly. So give me just a minute. I'll get this cleaned off, and then I'll share these 3 secrets with you right away. Hey everyone, this is John again, and welcome back to my office. So this is a pretty comfortable place for me to be putting together this training for you, because I feel like it really helps my brain get into the learning and kind of the teaching mode. And quite frankly, I just love my office. It's just awesome. So this is where I do all the podcasts and some of the other things that I do for Electricians Library. So let's get into this and teach you the 3 secrets that they don't teach you about being an electrician. So secret number 1 that I'm gonna get into with you today, number 1, is the notion that those who know how will always work for those that know why. So how will always work for those that know why. So I was actually given this little phrase as a young apprentice some 15 years ago or so, and at first glance it may or may not make a whole lot of sense. It took me a little bit of time to digest it, and you may not even you may disagree with this even. So this is my chance to get to explain to you a little bit about what this means. So from where I stand, there are 2 kinds of electricians: those who I have dubbed an electrician, and those that I have dubbed the electrician. So these are the ones that know how, and the electrician, these are the ones that know why. So from the outside, you may not see a huge difference. They both might look like the same, wear the same clothes, have the same tool bags, might even look like the same guy, but we need to know that there is a difference, and you need to know that there is a difference, because you're going to have to choose which one you want to be. So let's go ahead and start with being an electrician who knows how. Okay, so this is the guy or the gal who comes to work late, they steal while they're there, and they leave early. In fact, that's Dave Ramsey's definition of what an employee is, which I've always found to be very funny. But this is the guy who just kind of eyeballs his conduit runs. He doesn't really take the time to make measurements or really get too technical. He doesn't take the time to make each bend look great. This is the guy or the gal that will tell you that this is going to be hidden behind a wall, or it's going to be hidden by the ceiling, and no one's really ever going to see it. So it doesn't really matter what it looks like. And so this is the guy that doesn't make sure his wall plates are straight. This is the guy who doesn't make sure that maybe the screws line up. I know that's a big point of contention amongst many electricians out there, is should they go vertical, should they go horizontal? It doesn't really matter, but the people who care about that kind of a thing, they are the ones that go above and beyond. So being an electrician, just the one who knows how, these are the people that just know how to put a device in, or how to pull a wire, make up a panel, but that's as far as the skill really goes. They don't really care about the quality. They don't really care about the customer. They don't really care about the reputation, to be honest with you. They just show up for a paycheck. They just want that dollar bill. That's all they really want. And so they just want to be able to hit Friday, and that's just how they do electrical work. But it doesn't really go any further than that. And so this is the guy that you don't want to be. Okay, you don't want to be just an electrician who knows how. You want to be the guy who knows why. And so this is the guy or gal that doesn't just know how, but they know the why. Now, what do I mean by the why? So this is what I mean. Why they know why they get out of bed every morning. They know that they have a purpose. They know they have a customer who needs their help. You know, they need their services, and they're needing somebody who is going to be honest with them, who is going to give them a fair service for a fair price, and they're not going to cut corners. You know, the electrician, you know, they put the needs of their customer first. And so being an electrician, you know, I don't know, it's just so mediocre and subpar. But it's just being an electrician to the electrician. It's not just a job. It's more of a lifestyle. It's a way of improving the community. It's a way of improving the world. It's a way of giving back to those around them. And you know, I've mentioned the Electrician Manifesto before in some podcasts and on electricianslibrary.com. And if you haven't had a chance to read that, I would highly recommend that you go and read that, because it pretty much sums up what it means to be the electrician. It pretty much sums up, you know, what it means to be the best in the trade. So now, as I said earlier, I've polled thousands of electricians, and I've asked them why they got into the trade. And so right now, I just want to show you and read you a few of the answers. So one is, I love the challenge. Okay, they love the challenge. Number two is money. Another one is that they needed a helper, and it was a good job. And some got in to help others. Some got in because they loved to learn. Some tried it and then they loved it. And then one said, I did it because I didn't become a doctor or a lawyer. Another said, I didn't want to be a plumber. Another said, it was too late to change. I fell into it. Another was I needed a job. And then one more said, electricity has always been my passion. So you can tell from those answers who got in it for the money and who got it because they loved it. So secret number one is that you need to decide what kind of electrician you're going to be. You know, are you going to be just an electrician that shows up for a paycheck, you know, and works for the weekend? Or are you going to be the electrician that steps up, works hard for yourself, for your family, and for other people, and try to do the best quality work ever? You know, there's a big difference, and don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. You know, if you want to be just an electrician, you know, there's thousands of them out there. But I'm encouraging you right now to set your sights on being the electrician and finding your why. Now, you might be saying, John, it sounds like you're talking to the business owners here, and I don't own my own business. I work for somebody else, and this has nothing really to do with me. Well, you're wrong, okay? You're absolutely wrong. Whether your customer is your actual customer of your business, or if your customer is your employer, you need to step up and be the best that you can be. And if you really think about it, if you work for somebody else as an employee, then technically they are your customer. You show up every day and you perform services and they pay you. And you need to give your employer the best that you have, as long as they deserve it, I guess you'd say. There are some employers out there that obviously don't deserve the best that you have. And if they don't deserve the best that you have, then maybe it's time to you know, find somebody that does deserve the best that you have, because you know, life's short. You need to give the best, and you need to receive the best. So that's secret number one. You need to choose what kind of electrician you're going to be. Are you going to be just an electrician that just knows how, or are you going to be the electrician that knows why? Okay, now I'm going to move on and transition into secret number two. And secret number two is kind of a cool one, because it's actually three other secrets. And you know, these are three things that you need to know about your customer, about your employer, and about your employees, depending on which phase of the electrical trade that you're in. So now, why in the world would I, want your customer, your employer, employees why would I lump them into the same category? Well, I kind of covered this in secret number one just a little bit, but if you're an employee, your employer is essentially a customer of yours, and you're getting paid to do a service by your employer. So that's kind of how they're your customer as well. But there are three things that you need to know about that person, whether they are your employer, your customer, your employee. There's three main things. So secret number two is actually three things. Okay, and these three things, they're kind of three main objectives in life that each and every one of us have. And number one is to protect. They're protecting things. So number one is to protect the family. Okay, number two is to protect their money. And then number three is to protect their status. Okay, so in other words, for you to be good at what you're doing with your customers, then you are going to have to get them to know you, like you, and trust you. And so this kind of goes back to being the electrician that knows why, and not just the electrician that knows how. There are plenty of electricians out there that know how to do something, but they can't seem to get the work or stay consistent with getting the work or getting continued work because they don't know the why. They don't know how to get people to know them, like them, and trust them. So we're gonna cover those things really quick. And trust. Okay, we're going to cover those things real quick, and I'm sure you're like me for the most part. People's main concern is for their family. I don't know too many people who are willing to put their family in danger, want to subject them to that kind of thing. So if a potential customer doesn't know you, doesn't know your background, doesn't know what you do, doesn't know who you are, then they're going to be a lot less likely to let you into their home to take care of their family, or into their business that provides a living for their family. Okay, and so as they get to know you, as you build a good relationship, a good reputation with them, then they're going to be a lot more likely, of course, to let you into their life, because you won't be a threat to the protection of their family or to what provides for their family. So as you get to know them, then you're going to kind of have that relationship to have them trust you with their family. Now, the next thing is their money. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but money's not very easy to come by for a lot of us out there. And we got to get up, we got to go to work, we got to put in the time. It's hard sometimes. And we want to protect that. We want to protect that investment of our time that we had to work so hard for. So if they don't like you, then they may know you, but if they don't like you, then they may not be willing to give you their money. Now, I can think of one or two instances where I knew somebody, but I didn't necessarily like them. And because of that, I've gone to a competitor and I've purchased from them and I give them my money. Because I feel I like them more. I like them than the other person. And so I'm sure that each of you have had an experience like that. And if you haven't, then at some point in your career, you're going to experience something like that when you've got a project or you're trying to sell a service and you end up losing the bid because although the customer knows you, they may like somebody else better. It's not that they don't like you, but they may like somebody else better. They have that relationship with them. So it's important to learn that even though somebody knows you, if they like you, then they're going to trust you, and then that's when they're going to give you the money. So once they get to know you, they build that trust. You've got the trust with the family. They're going to want to purchase from you, have you come over and do a service for them, and then they're going to feel like giving you the money is more valuable than keeping it for themselves. So first, they want to protect their family, and by not knowing you, they don't feel comfortable having you around. Second is money. If they like you, then they'll feel like it's a better investment to give you the money instead of keeping it for themselves. And the last of these three kind of micro secrets about your customers, employers, or employees is that they want to protect their status. And so if you don't know, if they know that they can trust you and they know that you wouldn't do anything to hurt their status, and this is just kind of a human nature thing. I kind of feel like everybody wants to look good for everybody else. We want to put our best foot forward. We want everybody to think kind of highly of us, and we don't want to look bad. We don't want to look like idiots in front of other people. And so we might tell others that we don't care what others think of us, or we might tell ourselves that we don't care what others think of us. But to me, that is just kind of a mechanism of us trying to justify actually wanting others to think highly of us. When we tell ourselves, that, we're essentially trying to make others think that we're tougher maybe than we really are. And so, we all worry about our status. We all have an ego. Just to look at social media. What kind of things do you post on your social media? Usually, now there are a few exceptions out there, but usually there are going to be things that make you look good or look better than you really are to other people. And so if they know you and like you but don't really trust you, they're going to be afraid that you could do something to harm their status or harm their reputation, take a blow to their ego. So let's just look at a quick example. When you lose a bid to a lower bidder, what do you think the customer might be thinking? In a lot of cases, they're thinking, why is this guy so much higher? Or why is this gal so much higher? Why would I want to pay them to do something that I can get for cheaper? If they find out that they've overpaid for something that they could have gotten cheaper somewhere else, then they feel like they look like an idiot when and that hurts their status. That hurts their ego. It makes them not look so smart and not feel so smart. And nobody likes that. The problem with this is they might pay the lower price and get something cheaper, but then they're going to have problems in that spectrum too, in that realm. And they're going to have somebody come back and fix that. It's the whole you get what you pay for scenario there. So then they look like an idiot as well. So that's kind of what you need to do. Once they know you and like you, and you need to gain their trust so that you can help them make the best buying decisions that are going to help them keep their feeling of status that they need to feel good about themselves. So just to recap, these three, I guess, micro secrets that you need to know about your customers or your employer or your employees is, number one, that they want to protect their family. And one way that they do that is they hire people that they know. And then number two, they want to protect their money. People don't like to give money to people that they don't like. And so if they know you and they get to like you, they'll be more comfortable giving you their money. And then number three, of course, is status. If they trust you, they know that you're not going to do anything to harm their reputation, then they're also going to be more likely to give you the business. So I've showed you a lot of really cool things so far. I've showed you the difference between the electrician who knows how and the electrician who knows why. And then I showed you, three micro secrets here that you need to know about your customers, employers, employees. So now why don't we move on to secret number three? Okay, so the third thing that I want to talk about, secret number three, is probably one of the biggest ahas that I've had over the last 12 months or so. So secret number three is the secret of continuing education. Continuing ed, which I'm sure everybody loves to talk about that. So my question to you with secret number three is, what do you think about when you think of continuing education? So for me, it's a gigantic snooze fest. And I know it's not just me, because I've talked to dozens of electricians who struggle with the requirements of continuing education today. Not that it's not necessary, because everyone that I've talked to believes that you need to stay up on the trade, you need to stay up on the codes, and this is just how it's done. This is the way that we go about continuing education right now. So you go and you pay a couple $100 to go to a classroom. You sit and watch a PowerPoint presentation, which is being read word for word off of the slides that you're sitting there reading, and then you're given a lame little test at the end that you're given all the answers to while you're taking the test, and you're going to spend 2 or 3 days every year or two going through the same process, and you'll be sleeping for most of the time, or at least in a sitting up position trying to make it through the couple of days of continuing education. And you do all this so that you can keep your license current, and then you get a paper that says that you've gotten the credits that you need to turn into the state, and you're good to go for another however long it is that your state requires to keep your license. So maybe it's different in your state, but that's how it is. That's how it is here in Utah, and and so that's what I think of when I hear the term continuing education. And today's requirements for continuing education, in my mind, are the absolute minimum. Okay, so you've got an electrician, you've got the electrician, you've got the how, you've got the why. Continuing education keeps you right here. Okay, it's the absolute minimum that you need to do to keep your license current. But those who know why, those who are on this end of the spectrum, and that's where you want to be, they know that they need to take it a step further. They know that these classes are just the beginning of what they need to do to become the best in the trade. And so this, this scenario right here reminds me of 2 guys that I know personally who have had, their electrical careers go in completely different directions. Now, they're very similar because they both spent about 20-25 years in the trade, but one has found himself in a position where, his company now owns a private jet. He can vacation anytime that he wants, and it's rumored that his company is valued at roughly $50 million now, which is awesome. On the other hand, the other electrician has found himself in a position where he's having to sell company trucks to meet payroll. He's having to start sell off assets to pay their bills to suppliers. And quite frankly, sad as it is to say, he's on the verge of bankruptcy. So what's the difference between these 2 electricians? Well, this is the key to secret number 3. Simply, it was their willingness or their unwillingness to educate themselves. Okay, and I'm not talking about continuing education. It was their willingness to, or unwillingness to, seek the education to better their company versus the desire to goof around all the time and not do much. Leave their company in the hands of the employees who don't necessarily know what they're doing. But obviously the guy who has a company with $50 million was willing to take the steps necessary to educate himself, to get consultants involved, to learn and to grow and to make sacrifices that would benefit his company and himself, obviously 20 years later. And now he has the ability to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Now, electrical contractor number 2 was not willing to do the things that electrical contractor number 1 did. He played a lot. He didn't take a whole lot of responsibility for the jobs that were being done. He would assign project management responsibilities to, put it kindly, people who've never really been in the trade before, had no idea what they were doing, and so it's caused a lot of heartache and a lot of trouble for his company. So the difference between contractor number 1. Number one was willing to continually educate himself in the things that would make him successful, and not just the things of the state that the state required right here. That's the how. That's what the state requires right there, the minimum. But he was willing to educate himself in the things that would get him further ahead. We all know that the government is not going to teach you the things that you need to do to be successful. That's not their job. It's not their responsibility. If you remember the story of Captain Sullenberger, who landed his jet on the Hudson, as you read more about him and learn more about things that he did to keep himself prepared and ready for that kind of a situation, he was always involved in safety inspections. He was always going above and beyond He was always going the extra mile, and that's what prepared him to act in the way that he did when the situation came up. He was ready, he was prepared. He didn't just do the minimum required to keep up his pilot's license. And it's no different with you as an electrician, you know, and I'm not gonna say as an electrician, as the electrician. If you're always gonna reach out and do the minimum that's required, then you're gonna get the minimum return. If you're willing to go the extra mile and put forth the maximum effort, then you're going to gain a maximum return. That's just kind of a standard law, no matter what you're doing, you know. Now, nobody's ever been successful by sitting back and waiting for it to come to them. The successful people are the ones who are willing to go that extra mile and do what's required. So I hope that this helps you to see what areas you can and need to change in your life as an electrician. You know, like I said earlier, this isn't taught in trade school or in your continuing education courses. They're worried about the how. And you should be, because to be a top-notch, you know, electrician, you need to know the how. You absolutely do, because then you wouldn't be an electrician. But you need to know the why. You need to know how to go a step further. And, you know, as people in a society, we love to have things that show, you know, that we're the best, you know, symbols and tokens or whatever that help us to stand out above the rest. You know, think of cars or jewelry or whatever else, but, you know, they show it falls back into that status thing. It's kind of the pride thing and the micro secret number 3 that I just talked about. So what I've done is I've created a shirt, which you can see right here, that kind of stands as a symbol to those in the trade, as well as I mentioned earlier, the Electrician Manifesto, and many of electricians have already adopted that. You know, these things are a status symbol to those who have come, you know, who have them. They're committed to becoming not just an electrician, but becoming the electrician. And I told you earlier that I had a special offer for you where you could get one of these for free if you joined Stuff Electrician Chanel University. And I'm just curious, is it okay with you if I spend about 10 minutes, you know, 10 minutes or so, and just walk you through everything that you're going to get when you join Stuff Electrician Chanel University? You know, it includes getting your very own t-shirt and a manifesto and many hours of extra training that you can't get anywhere else. So obviously, I can't see you because this isn't live, but I'm assuming that if you're as excited as I am about these things, then you're probably into it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to spend, you know, about 5 to 10 minutes going over everything that you're going to get when you join Stuff Electrician Chanel University today. So what is SESK University and why should you become a member? Well, you know, there are a ton of member benefits that I could talk to you about, but I just want to go over everything that you're going to get today when you sign up for your first ever Stuff Electrician Chanel University membership. You know, this is a big step, and it's a great thing that you're going to be getting involved with. So first, as I mentioned a few times earlier, you're going to get the shirt and you're going to get the manifesto. So you're going to get the shirt, which has a value of $22. You're going to get your own copy of the manifesto, which is valued at $10. Now, the third thing that you're going to get is a USB card with over 30 hours of training. So what kind of training is this USB card going to have on it? Well, we had a very popular podcast in the past called The Weekly Buzz, and we did over 30 episodes, and as we've added it up, it comprises about 15 hours of training. Now, this is no longer available. You can't find it anywhere, but I've decided to take this training and put it on a USB card along with the first 80 episodes of the Stuff Electrician Chanel podcast, which is at least another 15 hours of training. So you'll get the USB card, you can download the information on your computer, you can put them on your phone and get the training that you need when you want it. So this has a value of $497, and I'm thinking I'm actually undervaluing it here, but I want you to have it. You know, 80 or 30 hours of training right in your hand. The fourth thing that you're going to get is access to the Electrician's Library Conduit Bending 101 course. This is a perfect course for an apprentice just starting out, or a journeyman that needs a refresher, or for a master or a contractor that needs some training for their employees. So the total value of the Conduit Bending 101 course is $100. Now, if you look at the value of everything that you're getting so far, you're getting a lot of really cool stuff. You know, this is just the free bonus stuff if you sign up today. So these four things right here are your free bonus today, and that's if you sign up today. So let's go over this one more time. The first thing that you're going to get is the shirt, valued at $22. And the second thing that you're going to get is your own copy of the Electrician Manifesto, valued at $10. Third is the 30 hours of training between the Weekly Buzz podcast, which is no longer available, and the first 80 episodes of the Stuff Electricians Should Know podcast, all on a USB drive, sent to your door for easy access. And this is definitely undervalued at $497. And now we've added on the Conduit Bending 101 course, which is added value of about $100. So far, this comes to a total value of $629 for the free bonus stuff that you'll be receiving today. Now, the next thing that you're going to get, and you know, I've got to admit that this is probably one of my most favorite things, because this is kind of like me sending you a Christmas gift every single month in the mail. And this is really one of the reasons Electrician's Library was started in the first place. Now I don't know about you, but I get emails, texts all day long, and they, I don't know, they don't really seem all that personal. You know, there's just something about getting something physical these days in the mail that kind of makes it special. And so that's why I wanted to send you a gift in the mail every single month. You know, it's kind of like the whole retro thing. Things that were old become new again. And as some of you know, that if you've listened to the podcast, I like to learn, and I like to figure out why and how things are done. And I've really made it my personal goal over my lifetime to learn one new thing each day about something. And over the last 3 or 4 years, it's been the electrical industry. And as I do, I write them down, I take notes, and I try to get the most out of the learning as I can. So as I've done this, I've decided that you know, this knowledge shouldn't be kept to myself. So as I find something that's really fascinating, or I find something that doesn't seem to be very well known maybe, I've decided to put that knowledge entirely into a print newsletter. In fact, this is issue number 1 right here, and each issue will run anywhere from 10 to 20 pages depending on the topic for the month. So let me just show you a little bit about the newsletter. So inside the front cover, there is kind of an instruction sheet, and it's going to kind of give you an overview of how you should use the newsletter. And then it'll jump right in. You know, for instance, the first issue is dealing with paralleling conductors, and a big question on the front: are there specific things that shouldn't be done when paralleling conductors? And I go into this, and you can see front, back of each page. But the cool thing about the newsletter is it's interactive. It's not just a physical copy, but it's also interactive digitally. So you'll notice right here, we've got QR codes. So when you scan that QR code, there are a few different things that could happen, and it's noted right next to it. It could be an illustration. For instance, on this page, I've got an illustration here. Down here, I've got a link to an audio piece of information. On the next page, there's a QR code to go to a download chart, more audio, and then you know, as you hit some of these, there's little training videos that are embedded as well. So this isn't just a physical copy, but it's also got a lot of digital information as well. So that's lesson number 1, which is what you'll be getting in the mail along with your free bonus for signing up for Stuff Electricians Should Know University. So each month there'll be a different piece of knowledge coming your way, and it's just like I say, it's like Santa Claus coming to your house every month when you get the print newsletter delivered to you in the mail. You know, you can take it with you to the job site. You can read it in the truck. You can take notes. You can, you know, look at all the different things that are there. You can listen to things. You can watch different little videos, and you can get all kinds of different ideas of how to better yourself in your quest to become the electrician and not just be an electrician. So my goal is that that you'll get so excited and look forward to the mailman coming each and every month to you know, drop your newsletter off, because everything inside is just pure gold. You know, we spent a lot of time, you know, a lot of effort putting this together, and I'm just really excited to get into your hands. So this is something that you know, if I could have wished for anything as an apprentice, you know, this really would have been it. This would have been huge to help me in pursuing that path. You know, this is tons of time and money and energy that I'm putting into this to give you some of the best value and education that you need to become better at what you do. So the fifth thing is the newsletter. Now, the newsletter has a total real world value of $59.97, and this is going to come to you every single month that you're a SESKU member, and it's something you're going to love. And you know, that is the SESK print newsletter. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to get when you join SESKU today is that you're going to get this is kind of one of the cooler things. This is number 2 next to a print newsletter, but I think you're going to love it, and you're going to get addicted to it, especially as it grows. But that's going to be the digital all access pass. Now, this is the membership site part of the growing library, and I don't know that I love calling it that, but this is where we're going to put all kinds of micro trainings and all kinds of other valuable content. For example, as they become available, you're going to have access to the digital copies of all the back issues of the SESK newsletter. I'm not sure how long we're going to do that. But you know, we're going to put that in there along with some videos, some audios. So if for some reason you happen to miss a month, you can go back and get access to that issue wherever you are. So this members area, you know, and like I say, I kind of hate to even call it that, but this is going to be this is kind of the original vision for Electricians Library. This truly is going to be an ever-growing, ever-evolving library of information and training for, you know, the electrician that wants to become, you know, at the top of his game, the best out there. So everything that you have that is important now, and everything that we're creating in the future is going to be going into the digital access pass area. And as a founding member right now, you'll notice there's not a whole lot in there, and so you're going to have access to what we do have in there, but you're also going to have access to everything in the future. And like I say, I'm trying to decide how much will be available to those in the future, but right now, if you're joining now, as long as you stay a member of the Stuff Electricians Should Know University, you'll have access to everything in the future. You know, I don't want people thinking, oh, I'll join in 3 months when there's a little bit more information in there. I want people to get in now and have the benefits of being one of those founding members. So one thing for sure is that the price is going to go up because of the massive value that will be added over the coming months. But as long as this video is live, if you sign up to be a member of SESKU today, then you have access to what is being offered today. So now the real world value of SESKU Digital Pass as of today is about $19.97, and it definitely will become more valuable over time because we're going to be adding new content to it all the time. And so this is a massive value that's being offered to you right now, and that's something that you're going to get today. if and when you do take action. And then the last thing that you're going to get is we're going to send you some awesome stickers that you can show off to your buddies. Some SESKU stickers as well as the Electrician's Library stickers. So let me recap everything that you're going to get one more time so that you're completely clear when you invest and join in SESKU today. First of all, we're going to start off with the shirt, just like this beauty right here, the Electrician's Library shirt. Second thing, that's valued at $22. The second thing that you're going to get is the Electrician Manifesto, your own copy of the Electrician Manifesto. That's valued at $10. Now, third, what you're going to get is you're going to get the USB card that contains over 30 hours of training, 15 hours of the Weekly Buzz podcast, and then the first 80 episodes of the Stuff Electricians Should Know podcast. Now that is definitely undervalued at $497. Now next, you've got the Conduit Bending 101 digital course with a value of $100. And so far, this comes to a total value of $629. Now next, you're going to get the Stuff Electricians Should Know University physical newsletter with a real world value of $59.97. And then last of all, you'll get the digital all access pass with a real world value of $19.97. So that comes to a total of $8,623. Now the good news is that when you get started today, you're not going to pay $8,600. But I am curious now, obviously, you're not going to pay that much money for all this, but I want to know if all you did was paid $8,600 and you could get access to everything, the newsletter, the all access pass, the extra podcast episodes, the training, the shirt, the manifesto, the conduit bending course. I mean, everything, all of that. If all it did was give you the ability to shortcut your success, and instead of spending hours and time and money, energy looking around, studying, searching, you know, if all it did was shorten that time, would it be worth that $8,600 to you? Of course, the answer is going to be yes. You know, as I mentioned in secret number 3, you know, I explained to you what some of the most successful people out there have done. They spend a lot more time, they spend a lot more money working to shortcut their success, so that they can spend more time doing the things that they love to do, and that they can spend their time enjoying their success instead of having to go out and spend all their time working. So that's what this is. This is a shortcut. This will help you compress countless hours of study and knowledge into just days or hours, depending on how much time you have to put into it. Now, the second thing is that if all this training did was make you better at what you do, so that you could provide more massive value to your customers and clients, and make them want to have you around more, would it be worth $8,600 to you to be able to provide more massive value to your customers? Heck yes, it would. Okay, I spend hundreds of hours learning and studying and researching every single year to make sure that I have the best knowledge at my disposal, so that I can provide you with the best information and the most value that I possibly can. It's absolutely worth it. So this right here is going to give you the edge that you need to get to the next level and become something better than what others are, you know, half-heartedly doing each and every single day. You know, they're going out and just kind of doing the minimum. You want to step it up, and you want to give the best. Now, here's my last question for you. If all this did was give you the ability to create a better life, you know, whatever that might be for you, I don't know what that is for you, but if all this did was give you a better life, would it be worth $8,600? I think the answer to that is yes, it would. I spend time and money every day trying to create a better life for myself, for my family, for those around me. And whatever we can do, whatever I can do to speed that up, I do it. So I know that, that educating yourself beyond the minimum standards, going to that higher standard, it works, and it will absolutely change the way that you do things. So the thing that I'm telling you today is I'm not coming to you today asking for $1,000 or even $500. In fact, I want to ship you all of this stuff that I've showed you here for free if you just cover a tiny shipping and handling fee. I'm going to ship you out the USB card. I'm going to ship you out your shirt. I'm going to ship you out your manifesto. I'm going to ship you out your first copy of the newsletter. And all you got to do is cover the first month's subscription cost and then the cost of a small shipping and handling fee for the bonus material, so that I can get this out to you right away. And then after that, when you see how awesome it is, we'll just simply continue to bill you a small monthly fee, and you'll continue to get access to the members area, the digital all access pass, and you'll continue to receive the monthly newsletter in the mail. If for some reason you decide to cancel, just let us know and we'll cancel your account. But you can keep everything that you received in the mail that we're going to ship out to you today for free, as a special gift from me to you. If you decide to cancel and the price goes up, which I guarantee you that it will increase, and you decide to resubscribe, you will have to resubscribe at the higher price. So if you subscribe now and the price goes up and you stay with us, you're not going to have to have a rate increase. You're going to stay at the ridiculously low price that you're at now. So my hope is that you'll get a chance to go through all this information. You'll realize how important and valuable it is. Continue to educate yourself and better yourself with the training that we're providing inside of the Stuff Electrician Should Know University. So that's it, you guys. It's simple. It's easy. It's not something that you have to stress about. And if you like it, which I know you will, because most overachievers do, then it's a tool and a training that is going to help transform your life. It's going to help you get to the next level that you're looking to get out. So now, if you don't go with Stuff Electrician Should Know University, then really what are your other options? Well, one of the options is to just go to YouTube and find whatever garbage might be on there, because you know as well as I do that there's a lot of trash on there. Or you can just get the newsletter each and every month. It's that easy. Or you can try to figure out everything on your own, which will take you a lot more time and effort, and that's why we're trying to give you this shortcut. I've learned that when you team up and work with someone else, the learning curve is cut considerably. That's why I want you to give it a shot. That's why I want the newsletter in your hands. It's just going to be proof to you that this is the way to go. Now, I know that by joining SESKU, you will start that transformation in your career. You'll get on that path to becoming the electrician, and you'll be able to create a better and brighter future for yourself and a better life for your family around you. So with that said, I first off want to say thank you for sticking around and watching this training, and I hope that you got a ton of value from the things that I talked about earlier. And the next thing I want to do is just invite you to enroll in Stuff Electrician Should Know University. All of the information is on the page right below. All the stuff that you're going to get, and the products. I really want to get this stuff out to you, get it into your hands, and let you see for yourself how awesome and wonderful it is. So with that, if you don't get 100 times the value from just the stuff that we send you along, just let me know, and we can cancel your membership. But again, like I say, most overachievers, they love it, and you're gonna love it. And when you become part of our community, and we're here to assist you in becoming the electrician, not just an electrician, from this point forward. So our goal is to provide as much value and as much information as we can to you. Again, I'm excited to have you. Welcome to the community. Thanks so much for sticking with us. My name is John Workman, and as always, stay grounded.